Right, we're getting ready to start our next project on mandalas. Some people say mandala, some people say mandala. It's a cultural thing, but mandalas have been around since the beginning of time. Nature has tons and tons of mandalas in it. I have some books that you guys can look at if you're interested. Many different early cultures used mandalas. A mandala, in essence, is just a design that starts in the center and it radiates out. We've talked about balance in art. You have symmetrical balance, asymmetrical balance, and radial balance. So we're going to be working with radial balance on this project, and you're going to be designing a mandala of your choice. If you want it to be asymmetrical, it can be asymmetrical. If you want it to be symmetrical, then it's going to also be radial probably, okay? So early cultures, and I could spend days talking about cultures that use mandalas in their art forms because there are so many. African cultures created beautiful mandala designs. People draw what they see, okay? And there are mandalas all over in nature. So it's natural that each early culture had mandala designs in their artwork because that's what they saw in fruits and vegetables. If you slice a tomato halfway, it's a mandala design. Or a pepper. Flowers start in the center and they radiate out. Spider webs, all of these things that people observed in early cultures that they created their artwork inspired from, added to their designs. Aborigine dot paintings, Islamic geometric designs in their architecture. Any of you that have seen any Islamic architecture has got beautiful designs. Native Americans used radial designs in their sand paintings. Buddhists, all different cultures. Catholic cathedrals in the early ages all had what we call rose windows. Okay, it was a stained glass window created in a mandala design. Okay, so we're going to be making a mandala. I'm going to show you some examples quickly. This is a student example. Okay, it has a central circle and then 4 other ones. It's got a city theme, so they did a theme. These are supposed to be like the taillights of cars at night in the city. Okay, and you have this skyline, and these are some gears for industry and things like that. You don't have to have a theme. You can just simply do a design that is based on, you build it with the circles and a ruler. They didn't color in much with colors. They did a black outline and then they did hatching lines and cross-hatching lines in those spaces. So you're going to be using your shading techniques that we learned with markers last year in 7th grade. You can also use colored pencils. This is one that I did. This one has a lot more circles. You can do as many as you want. Notice that you can create designs with the circles. So you have like a flower petal design. These are interlocking. You have a background. You can also do a bigger theme. This one has an Egyptian theme and it uses symbols from that culture. So if you're into a subject, this is the Eye of Horus with an ankh in the middle. There's cats. Cats are kind of popular in Egyptian culture, so you can go all different routes. Sometimes you can draw more pictures. This one isn't a finished one, it's just a doodle that I've started. And it is kind of a doodle process. So more recently in our culture, mandalas have been used in psychology and brain science and learning how the brain works and mindfulness and meditation and calming techniques. This is an actual psychological study area. There are Zentangle books, okay, and these are designs, and what we have learned about the brain is that when you're drawing these little repeated designs, it calms your brain and it kind of centers you, and so mandalas are continuing to develop and be used in our culture. You can buy adult coloring books that have mandala designs in them to color in, things like that. They're not all mandalas, but a lot of them are symmetrical designs that you can color. Coloring is also a very soothing technique for the brain. So mandalas continue to be a large part of our culture. And in your Schoolology, you're going to, there's a 8th grade mandala resources document. You're going to go in and I have a whole bunch of different videos linked, cultural videos. You're going to be required to watch 2 of those videos and then do a brief compare and contrast reflection on them so that you know that you watched them. But I highly encourage you to watch a whole bunch of the videos. I mean, if you want to watch all of them, they're all cool. There's an amazing one on Islamic architecture. There's a cool one on Aborigine dot paintings. So I encourage you to watch those videos as well as part of this introduction to our project. The other option that you have, if you don't want to do a mandala, you can do a notan. And notan is a Japanese art form. In their culture, they recognize the balance of good and evil, positive and negative, if you guys are familiar with the yin yang sign. Okay, that's part of their cultural belief system. The notan is an art form based on that. It's the positive and the negative. So the positive is the light pink where there is something, and the negative is where there is nothing. And it's part of the design process. You know, you're cutting out and you're developing both the positive and the negative in a balanced way. So there's also some videos on notan in there. In class or at home, you're welcome to do both. If you want to make a mandala design and then you have time and you want to get a piece of construction paper, colored construction paper and a pair of scissors and work out a notan, you can. So that is our next project.